at our 40th birthday bash, which is an extraordinary event, I think, standing on the shoulders of many, many people over the years, and some of them, a great deal of them, are here today. Just before
The weight is
and you'll notice there's a little Centrepoint on the way. I'll just briefly read out a couple of messages from people who couldn't make it today, of which there are a few, and their names will be noted and acted on. I have a message here from Roger Hall, who was here only the other day, but Roger couldn't make it today. He says, Centrepoint, congratulations for making it to your 40th birthday. A story of pluck, imagination, generosity, and determination. I feel a tear in my eye already, he says. Surely Peter H. can write the movie script. I owe thanks to so many of you over the years. My apologies for not being able to be there. Best wishes, Roger. So that was very nice. And he gave us some money to throw this birthday bash, isn't that sweet? And here's one from an old Centrepoint, an old timer of many years, Shirley Kelly, who couldn't make it today. We all love Shirley to pieces, and she's doing fantastically. She can hear now. It's fabulous. And she still talks 9 to the dozen. You can't get a word in. Cause will be pleased to know she's in good heart.
We can also hear now.
So she says, to Centrepoint, congratulations on celebrating 40 years of glorious theatre. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exclamation marks. Devastated, can't be with you, but just want to put my congratulations in the pile from all the other well-wishers. Thank you for being a wonderful place full of fabulous folk you are and have been over the years, and for being there for those of us lucky enough to have been part of your family at various times over those years. Laughs, tears, loves, frustrations, moments of joy, hilarity, and occasional despair. Yes, we know what she's talking about. But always the feeling of family, theatre family, so special. I think Shirley is so on the money with that. This Centrepoint really is of no other theatre that I know, no other organisation that is truly a family, and we operate in that way, and we have our favourites, and we have our spats, and we have our contretemps, but we look after each other, and we're trying to do the best we can, and trying to actually value each and every kind of member of staff and the audience out there and the sponsors. And so Shirley on the button as usual. So thank you, Shirley Kelly. And one last one from a short one from David Geary, who couldn't be here. He just sent me an email reminding me of our children's production of Treasure Island. Dear Jeff, I think an alternate history of Centrepoint should be written. R20 adult version. And you, in Treasure Island, asking a young child to stroke your stoat. I was a young, buff boy, fresh from ladies' night, with a lovely furry loincloth. That was my costume. And you know, as usual in my way, I thought that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Wah, tumbleweeds. But David himself, I remember, he had a few lovely, probably some of them in the book, but David also wrote a history of Centrepoint based on a fantastic book, which I cannot find, based on the awful Bert Potter experiment, which I just cannot find anywhere. But if anyone has it, could you please return it? But it was a beautiful example of prose. It really was. I think everyone probably here is. Kate Louise, you're probably...
I don't have it.
No. Listen, if you do have it, there will be no questions asked at the end. Anyway, that's the people who couldn't be here today, but thanks to all those who did make it. Now, this is about, I guess, in part, the launch of this fantastic 40th history of Centrepoint Theatre. There have been a few kind of attempts over the years to bring it all together. I think, maybe, Alison, did you write a few words? I think maybe Simon certainly did, and David's, Gary's version, but there's nothing quite like this. So I'd like to thank initially Dick and Mary Earle for their fantastic grant to enable Peter to write this book. This is from the Earle Creative. And also, of course, Peter Hawes, who, for his, what would you call it, Peter? Your version of your rendition. And Di Billing, who also helped Peter editing and also was a large part in some of the writing as well. And I can't go by without also thanking our vice chairperson, who really drove this project along, Lee Dome, who basically organised the calendar and got the designers and did everything, got the sponsors to take pages, and it was a labour of love. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Lee, for producing the calendar and also getting it through to the end. Well done. That's about me, really. I just like to say, as we've just had a photo of the ADs, all of them are extraordinary people in their own ways. I remember as a young, sillier drama student coming to Centrepoint in 1984 when Stuart was here, who was probably only about 4 years older than me. But and I thought, oh my goodness, it's so different, so grown. Indeed. But Stuart was this extraordinary, energetic kind of character that I was just amazing. I was blown away and kind of just, oh my God, I was in awe that whole year, I think, that I was here. But you were doing fantastic things and creating special theatre. Murray, of course, I know only as the champion of his work with Playmarket as the champion of New Zealand writers. I wasn't around when Murray was here in the late 70s, maybe Murray, I would think. But I think you've probably continued your work, I think, as you do now. Your championing of writers is just second to none. So thank you for that. Fantastic book. And of course, the Quegan. I do it chronologically. And of course, I mean, a huge presence in Centrepoint's history is, of course, Alison Quegan, in case you thought it was another Alison, who was here for 18 years, I believe. I think who actually remade this theatre. I think probably what we have now is kind of pretty much along the lines and the model that Alison created back then of New Zealand work, new work about us, about the Palmerston Northern Manawatu community, work that tells our stories. And so I think I try, or we try, and I think continue that model, and long may it continue. So thank you very much. And of course my immediate predecessor, Kate Louise Elliott, who is now gone, of course, is in Auckland working for the Super City. She's kind of like where's Simon Vincent? There he is. Of course, he's poacher turned gamekeeper, as I hear. He's here from CNZ today, and I love you, Simon. And John, of course, goes without saying. Much aroha. You did a fantastic job. What a dynamic, hilarious time I had when you were here. Brilliant stuff. Really gave it a good shake up. So if we can keep on doing that and reinventing ourselves, then we might have a shot at being here for another 40 years. So I don't know whether I've forgotten anyone, but I think that's just about me done. I'd like now to introduce the love child of Robin Gibb, and who else would it be? Anyway, it's Nick Gibb. He's not really a love child of Robin Gibb. And he's going to be talking with Peter Hawes right here on this very stage. So give them a please, big round of applause.